Deep within the sands of Egypt, beneath the towering shadow of the Great Pyramid of Giza, lies a secret that remained hidden for thousands of years. In 2017, a team of researchers made an astonishing discovery: a hidden corridor, carefully concealed within the pyramid's massive stone blocks. This wasn't just a forgotten storage room or a simple architectural quirk. It was a deliberate, meticulously crafted space, hidden away from prying eyes. But why? What purpose did it serve? And perhaps more intriguing, what other secrets might still be waiting to be uncovered in the ancient monuments that dot our world? For centuries, these hidden passageways and secret rooms have captivated the imaginations of explorers, historians, and even treasure hunters. From the labyrinthine tunnels beneath ancient temples to the concealed chambers in medieval castles, these spaces are more than just architectural marvels. They are puzzles waiting to be solved. Who designed them? What were they used for? And why were they hidden in the first place? These questions have sparked countless theories, from practical explanations to the downright mystical. In this video, we'll journey through some of the most fascinating examples of hidden spaces in ancient monuments. We'll explore the ingenious engineering behind these secret passageways, uncover the stories of those who discovered them, and dive into the theories about their purpose. Along the way, you might be surprised to learn how these ancient secrets continue to influence modern architecture and even popular culture. So, are you ready to step into the shadows and uncover the mysteries of the past? Let's begin. Hidden passageways and secret rooms in ancient monuments were far more than just architectural quirks. They were deliberate, purposeful creations that reveal the priorities and ingenuity of the civilizations that built them. One of the most common reasons for these concealed spaces was protection. Imagine a time when invasions and raids were constant threats. Hidden chambers provided a secure place to safeguard treasures, sacred artifacts, or even people during times of crisis. The Great Pyramid of Giza, for instance, is thought to contain undiscovered rooms that may have been designed to protect the pharaoh's most valuable possessions or even his body itself, ensuring his journey to the afterlife remained undisturbed. But these secret spaces weren't just about defense. They also played a significant role in religious and ceremonial practices. In many ancient cultures, certain rituals were meant to be performed away from the public eye, reserved only for the initiated. Hidden chambers within temples or pyramids often served as sacred spaces where priests or rulers could connect with the divine in private. The very secrecy of these rooms added to their mystique, reinforcing the power and authority of those who had access to them. And then there's the symbolic aspect. These hidden passageways and rooms often mirrored the beliefs and fears of the societies that created them. For example, the labyrinthine tunnels beneath ancient Egyptian temples weren't just physical structures, they represented the journey to the afterlife, a central theme in their culture. By designing spaces that echoed their worldview, these civilizations left behind a tangible legacy of their values and aspirations. As we marvel at the purpose behind these ancient secrets, it's impossible not to wonder, how did they achieve such precision and ingenuity in their construction? That's where the engineering marvels come into play, a topic we'll explore next. From the intricate stonework of the pyramids to the hidden mechanisms in medieval castles, the brilliance behind these structures is as fascinating as the secrets they were designed to protect. Ancient builders were masters of ingenuity, crafting hidden passageways and secret rooms with techniques that still leave us in awe today. Without the tools or technology we rely on now, they achieved feats of engineering that were as practical as they were ingenious. Take, for instance, the medieval castles of Europe, where trapdoors and sliding panels were seamlessly integrated into stone walls. These clever designs allowed residents to move unseen, escape during sieges, or even spy on unsuspecting guests. But it wasn't just about functionality. These hidden spaces were often works of art in their own right, blending so perfectly into their surroundings that they became virtually invisible. Over in the Americas, the Mayans took concealment to a whole new level. Their temples and pyramids often housed secret tunnels, some leading to sacred chambers or hidden storage areas. These passageways were meticulously planned, using advanced geometry to ensure they remained undetected. The Mayans even employed optical illusions like false walls that appeared solid but could be opened with the right touch or pressure. It's a testament to their deep understanding of both architecture and human perception, creating spaces that defied detection for centuries. But how did they do it? One key was their mastery of materials. Ancient builders used stone, wood, and mortar in ways that maximized strength while minimizing visible seams. They also relied on natural features of the landscape, incorporating hills, rivers, and even existing caves into their designs. This not only made their hidden spaces more secure, but also gave them a sense of harmony with the environment. And let's not forget the role of teamwork. These projects required precise coordination, with every stone and beam placed to serve a greater purpose. What's truly fascinating is that many of these secrets remain hidden to this day. Some passageways have been rediscovered by accident, like when a loose stone or a curious archaeologist reveals a long-forgotten tunnel. Others are still waiting to be found, their entrances concealed by time, nature, or the very ingenuity that created them. It's a reminder that even in our modern age, ancient builders still have the power to surprise us. And who knows what other secrets might lie beneath our feet, waiting for the right moment to be uncovered. Among the countless mysteries of the ancient world, some of the most tantalizing are the hidden spaces that have yet to be uncovered. These elusive chambers and passageways have inspired myths, fueled legends, and sparked the imaginations of explorers for centuries. Take, for instance, the Great Sphinx of Giza, a monument that has stood guard over the Egyptian desert for thousands of years. Beneath its massive paws, rumors persist of hidden chambers, rooms said to hold ancient secrets or even lost treasures. While no such spaces have been definitively found, the idea of what lies beneath continues to captivate historians and adventurers alike. Then there's the legend of Montezuma's lost treasure rooms, said to be hidden somewhere in the heart of Mexico. According to stories passed down through generations, the Aztec emperor stashed vast amounts of gold and jewels in secret locations before the Spanish conquest. Despite countless searches, these treasure rooms remain undiscovered, leaving us to wonder if they're real or simply the stuff of myth. Modern technology has brought us closer than ever to solving these mysteries. Ground-penetrating radar, for example, has revolutionized the way we explore ancient sites. By sending electromagnetic waves deep into the earth, scientists can map out hidden structures without ever lifting a shovel. This technology has already revealed potential voids and anomalies beneath the Sphinx, reigniting hope that the chambers of legend might one day be uncovered. But even when hidden spaces are found, they often raise more questions than answers. Consider the case of the hidden tunnels beneath Teotihuacan in Mexico. Archaeologists discovered a network of underground passages, some filled with artifacts and offerings, yet the true purpose of these tunnels remains unclear. Were they used for rituals, as escape routes, or something else entirely? The mystery endures, reminding us that discovery is only the first step in unraveling the past. As we continue to search for these legendary spaces, one thing is certain: the allure of the unknown keeps us digging deeper, both literally and figuratively. Whether they're real or simply the products of our collective imagination, these hidden spaces remind us that history still holds secrets waiting to be revealed. The Great Pyramid of Giza has stood as a testament to human ingenuity for millennia. But even after all this time, it keeps revealing secrets hidden within its ancient stones. In recent years, groundbreaking advancements in scanning technology, like muon radiography and ground-penetrating radar, have uncovered the existence of previously unknown chambers deep within the pyramid. These hidden spaces have sparked a wave of excitement and speculation among archaeologists and historians alike. What could these chambers have been used for? Some theories suggest they were additional burial chambers, perhaps reserved for high-ranking officials or members of the royal family. Others propose they served a more symbolic purpose, acting as sacred spaces designed to guide the pharaoh's soul to the afterlife. One particularly fascinating theory comes from Dr. Zahi Hawass, a renowned Egyptologist, who has speculated that these chambers might have been part of a larger, ritualistic design. He notes the Great Pyramid was not just a tomb, it was a gateway between the earthly and the divine. Every chamber, every passage had a purpose that we are only beginning to understand. This idea aligns with the ancient Egyptians' belief in the afterlife, where every detail of a monument like the Great Pyramid was meticulously planned to ensure the pharaoh's eternal journey. As the debate continues, one thing is clear: these hidden chambers are a reminder of how much we still have to learn about the ancient world. The Great Pyramid, a marvel of engineering and spirituality, continues to captivate us with its mysteries. And speaking of mysteries, let's turn our attention to another iconic monument with its own secrets, the Colosseum in Rome, where hidden passageways and chambers beneath the arena floor tell a story of spectacle, engineering, and survival. Beneath the grandeur of the Colosseum, where ancient crowds once roared in anticipation, lies a labyrinth of secret rooms and passageways that few ever saw. These underground chambers, known as the hypogeum, were the heartbeat of the arena's spectacle. Hidden from view, they served as the staging ground for gladiators, wild animals, and the elaborate machinery that brought the games to life. But this wasn't just a backstage area, it was a marvel of engineering and logistics designed to heighten the drama of every battle and performance. The hypogeum was a maze of tunnels and lifts, allowing performers and animals to emerge suddenly into the arena as if by magic. Imagine the tension as a trapdoor swung open, revealing a lion or a warrior ready to fight. These mechanisms weren't just functional, they were theatrical, designed to keep the audience on the edge of their seats. The engineering behind it was astonishing for its time, with pulleys, ramps, and even water systems to simulate naval battles. It's a testament to how the Romans combined practicality with spectacle, creating an unforgettable experience. But the hypogeum wasn't just about entertainment. It also tells a darker story of the lives that passed through these hidden corridors. For gladiators, these rooms were a place of preparation and dread where they awaited their fate. For animals, it was a holding pen before being thrust into the chaos above. These spaces remind us that the Colosseum's grandeur came at a cost, and they offer a glimpse into the human and emotional side of Rome's most famous monument. The ingenuity of the Colosseum's hidden spaces didn't just influence amphitheaters. It inspired the design of other monumental structures, including religious sites. Many ancient temples and cathedrals also feature concealed passageways and chambers, often serving spiritual or symbolic purposes. These hidden spaces weren't just functional, they were designed to evoke awe and mystery, much like the hypogeum. So, as we move from the Colosseum to the sacred, let's explore how these secret rooms shaped the experience of faith and power in ancient religious monuments. Religious monuments have long been places of mystery and reverence, but beneath their grand facades and sacred halls often lie secrets that few ever see. Take, for example, the medieval cathedrals of Europe. These towering structures, built to inspire awe and devotion, were also designed with intricate hidden passageways. These tunnels and chambers served multiple purposes. Some were practical, like escape routes during times of siege or storage spaces for valuable relics. Others were deeply spiritual, used by priests and monks for private rituals or moments of contemplation away from the public eye. These hidden spaces remind us that even in places meant to be open to all, there were always areas reserved for the sacred and the secret. But it's not just cathedrals that hold these mysteries. In Hindu temples, you'll find concealed chambers known as garbhagrihas, inner sanctums where deities reside. These spaces are often accessible only to priests, symbolizing the divine's inaccessibility to the ordinary world. Beyond their spiritual significance, these chambers also served practical roles, safeguarding precious offerings and sacred texts from theft or damage. The duality of these hidden spaces, both spiritual and functional, highlights how ancient architects blended the sacred with the practical, creating structures that were as much about protection as they were about worship. This blending of the spiritual and the practical wasn't limited to religious buildings alone. As we move from the sacred to the secular, we find a similar fascination with hidden spaces in royal palaces. These grand residences, built to showcase power and prestige, were also designed with secrets in mind. From concealed escape routes to private chambers for royal intrigue, the palaces of kings and queens were as much about secrecy as they were about splendor. And it's here, in these royal spaces, that we'll uncover even more layers of ancient ingenuity and mystery. Now picture this: you're wandering through the grandeur of Versailles, marveling at its opulent halls and gilded ceilings. But beneath this splendor lies a world few ever see, a labyrinth of secret rooms and hidden passageways designed for purposes both practical and mysterious. These concealed spaces weren't just architectural quirks, they were essential to the lives of those who called these palaces home. Take, for instance, the private chambers of Louis XIV, the Sun King himself. Hidden behind ornate walls, these rooms served as sanctuaries where he could retreat from the pressures of court life, holding private meetings or even orchestrating political maneuvers away from prying eyes. But secret rooms weren't just for solitude, they were also tools of survival. In the forbidden city of Beijing, a sprawling complex of palaces and courtyards, hidden passageways provided escape routes for emperors and their families during times of unrest. One such passage is said to have been used by Empress Dowager Cixi during the Boxer Rebellion, allowing her to flee to safety while the city burned around her. These spaces weren't merely functional, they were lifelines woven into the very fabric of royal life. And then there were the more intimate uses of these hidden spaces. Imagine the whispers exchanged in a concealed alcove where lovers or conspirators could meet without fear of discovery. The Palace of Versailles, for example, is rumored to have hosted secret rendezvous between Marie Antoinette and her confidants, hidden from the ever-watchful eyes of the court. These rooms weren't just physical spaces, they were stages for drama, intrigue, and the human stories that shaped history. As we step away from the glittering halls of palaces, it's worth noting that these hidden spaces weren't exclusive to royal residences. Fortresses and castles, too, were built with secrecy in mind, their walls holding stories of escape, strategy, and survival. But that's a tale for another time, one that takes us deeper into the shadows of history. Now, let's step into the world of fortresses and castle structures built not just for grandeur, but for survival. These towering monuments of power were often designed with hidden spaces that served as lifelines in times of crisis. From secret tunnels to concealed storage rooms, these features were more than just architectural marvels. They were strategic tools for survival. Take Edinburgh Castle, for instance. Perched high on its volcanic rock, this fortress holds a network of hidden passages that once allowed soldiers and royalty to move undetected, whether for escape or to ambush unsuspecting enemies. These secret routes weren't just about convenience, they were a matter of life and death during sieges or invasions. But Edinburgh isn't the only example. Far to the east, the ancient fortress of Masada in Israel tells a similar story. Carved into the rugged cliffs of the Judean desert, Masada's underground tunnels were a masterpiece of ancient engineering. These tunnels served as supply routes, allowing defenders to stockpile food, water, and weapons during long sieges. When the fortress was under attack, these hidden spaces became a refuge, offering a last line of defense against overwhelming odds. The ingenuity of these designs reminds us that survival often depended on secrecy and resourcefulness. And it wasn't just about survival. Hidden spaces in fortresses and castles also played a key role in espionage. Imagine a spy slipping through a concealed doorway, gathering intelligence, or delivering messages through a labyrinth of underground passages. These spaces were the original back channels of communication, allowing information to flow without detection. In a world where knowledge was power, these hidden rooms and tunnels became the unsung heroes of countless historical conflicts. From medieval Europe to the deserts of the Middle East, the stories of these secret spaces reveal a fascinating intersection of architecture, strategy, and human ingenuity. One of the most fascinating uses of hidden passageways and secret rooms wasn't just for protection or escape, it was for gathering information. Throughout history, these concealed spaces have played a crucial role in espionage and political intrigue, serving as the ultimate tools for those who needed to operate in the shadows. Take, for instance, the infamous spy tunnels of Cold War-era Berlin. Beneath the divided city, secret tunnels were dug by intelligence agencies to intercept communications and gather intelligence. These hidden passageways were engineering marvels, equipped with listening devices and designed to remain undetected, even as the world above teetered on the brink of global conflict. But the use of secret spaces for espionage stretches back much further. In Renaissance palaces, hidden rooms and passages were often built into the very fabric of the architecture. Nobles and rulers used these spaces to eavesdrop on their guests, monitor their enemies, or even orchestrate political maneuvers without detection. The Palazzo Vecchio in Florence, for example, is rumored to contain secret chambers where powerful figures like the Medici family conducted their most sensitive dealings far from prying eyes. These rooms weren't just functional, they were also symbolic, representing the power and cunning of those who controlled them. What makes these spaces so intriguing is how they blur the line between architecture and strategy. Hidden passageways weren't just physical structures, they were tools of manipulation, designed to give their creators an edge in the high-stakes games of power and influence. And while these examples come from relatively recent history, the concept of hidden spaces as instruments of control and secrecy goes back much further, even to the ancient world. This brings us to another fascinating use of concealed architecture: ancient tombs. Far from being simple resting places, many tombs were designed with intricate hidden chambers and passageways, often with purposes that remain shrouded in mystery. Could these spaces have served as more than just burial sites? Were they also places where secrets were kept, or where the living sought to protect the knowledge of the dead? The answer lies in the shadows of history waiting to be uncovered. Ancient tombs have always held a certain mystique, not just for their grandeur but for the secrets they conceal. Take, for instance, the Valley of the Kings in Egypt, where pharaohs like Tutankhamun were laid to rest. Beyond the ornate burial chambers lies a labyrinth of hidden passageways and concealed rooms designed with meticulous precision. These spaces weren't merely architectural flourishes, they served a dual purpose. On one hand, they were meant to protect the deceased, ensuring their journey to the afterlife remained undisturbed. On the other, they acted as deterrents, filled with traps and false corridors to confuse and thwart would-be tomb raiders. But Egypt isn't the only place where ancient builders employed such clever tactics. Over in China, the Terracotta Army site reveals its own network of hidden chambers. While the army itself was crafted to guard Emperor Qin Shi Huang in death, the surrounding underground structures were designed to keep his treasures safe from intruders. These hidden spaces were often cloaked in secrecy, with access points so well concealed that even modern archaeologists struggle to uncover them. What's fascinating is how these ancient civilizations used architecture not just to honor the dead but to outsmart the living. The ingenuity behind these hidden spaces speaks volumes about the values of the time, preserving legacy, deterring theft, and maintaining a sense of mystery that still captivates us today. Now, as we shift our focus from tombs to the bustling hubs of ancient life, we find that hidden spaces weren't just reserved for the dead. Ancient cities, too, were riddled with secret passageways and concealed chambers, serving purposes that ranged from the practical to the downright intriguing. Beneath the surface of some of the world's most iconic ancient cities lies a labyrinth of hidden passageways, underground chambers, and secret networks that served purposes far beyond what meets the eye. Take, for example, the underground cities of Cappadocia in modern-day Turkey. Carved deep into the soft volcanic rock, these sprawling subterranean complexes were more than just shelters. They were entire cities capable of housing thousands of people. Narrow tunnels connected multi-level living spaces, storage rooms for food and supplies, and even places of worship, all designed to protect inhabitants from invaders during times of war. The ingenuity of these structures is staggering, with ventilation shafts ensuring fresh air and massive stone doors that could be rolled into place to seal off entry points. Equally fascinating are the catacombs of Rome, a vast network of underground burial sites that stretch for miles beneath the city. These passages weren't just places to lay the dead to rest, they were also sanctuaries for early Christians to gather in secret, away from the persecution of the Roman Empire. The walls of these catacombs are adorned with intricate frescoes and symbols, offering glimpses into the beliefs and rituals of those who sought refuge there. These hidden spaces were not merely functional, they were deeply spiritual, serving as a bridge between life and the afterlife. What's remarkable about these underground networks is how they reflect the ingenuity and resourcefulness of ancient civilizations. Whether for protection, storage, or spiritual practices, these hidden spaces reveal a profound understanding of architecture, engineering, and human needs. And as we shift our focus from cities to temples, we'll uncover even more secrets, hidden chambers, and passageways that were believed to connect the mortal world with the divine. These spaces weren't just physical, they were symbolic, designed to inspire awe and reverence. So, let's step out of the shadows of these underground cities and into the sacred halls of ancient temples, where mystery and meaning intertwine in even more extraordinary ways. Now, let's step into the shadowy corners of ancient temples, where hidden chambers and secret passageways whisper stories of spiritual devotion and symbolic meaning. Places like Angkor Wat in Cambodia or the sprawling Temple of Karnak in Egypt are not just architectural marvels. They are riddles carved in stone, designed to guard secrets and sacred rituals. These concealed spaces often served as sanctuaries for priests or repositories for treasures, but their purpose went far beyond the physical. They were gateways to the divine, places where the earthly and the spiritual realms intertwined. Take Angkor Wat, for example. Beneath its towering spires and intricate carvings lies a network of hidden galleries and chambers. Some scholars believe these spaces were used for private ceremonies, away from the public eye, where only the most devout could commune with the gods. The very act of hiding these rooms added to their mystique, turning them into sacred thresholds where the ordinary world fell away. Similarly, the Temple of Karnak, with its labyrinthine corridors and concealed sanctuaries, was designed to symbolize the journey from the mortal world to the afterlife. Walking through these spaces wasn't just a physical act, It was a spiritual pilgrimage, a passage through layers of existence. But hidden spaces in ancient temples weren't just about spirituality, they also held practical significance. In times of conflict, these secret passageways could serve as escape routes or hiding places for priests and treasures. This dual purpose, spiritual and strategic, reveals how deeply intertwined the sacred and the secular were in ancient cultures. And speaking of strategy, this brings us to another fascinating use of hidden spaces, their role in ancient warfare. From secret tunnels beneath fortresses to concealed chambers in temples, hidden spaces became tools of survival and deception, shaping the outcomes of battles and the fates of empires. But hidden passageways weren't just for temples and tombs. They played a crucial role in ancient warfare too. Imagine a fortress under siege, its defenders vastly outnumbered. How did they survive? Often, the answer lay in cunningly concealed tunnels and secret rooms. These hidden spaces weren't just architectural quirks, they were tactical masterstrokes designed to outwit enemies and turn the tide of battle. Take, for example, the tunnels of the Khu Khai in Vietnam. Carved deep into the earth, these elaborate underground networks served as both refuge and weapon during conflicts. Soldiers could move undetected, launch surprise attacks, and store supplies safely away from enemy eyes. The tunnels were so well hidden that even modern technology struggled to detect them. They weren't just escape routes, they were strategic tools that gave the underdog a fighting chance. And it wasn't just tunnels. Fortresses often housed secret arsenals, hidden rooms filled with weapons and provisions. When invaders breached the outer walls, defenders could retreat to these concealed spaces, regrouping and resupplying without their enemies ever knowing. These hidden rooms were more than just storage, they were lifelines, ensuring survival in the face of overwhelming odds. But warfare wasn't the only arena where hidden spaces made a difference. Just as soldiers relied on secrecy to outmaneuver their foes, scholars and librarians used hidden rooms to protect something equally precious: knowledge. Which brings us to the next chapter of this story, the hidden spaces of ancient libraries, where scrolls and texts were safeguarded from destruction, ensuring that the wisdom of the past could endure. Hidden within the grand halls of ancient libraries, where knowledge was meticulously collected and preserved, lie secrets that go beyond the written word. The Library of Alexandria, for instance, wasn't just a repository of scrolls and manuscripts, it was a labyrinth of hidden spaces designed to safeguard its treasures. Scholars believe that beneath its towering shelves and ornate reading rooms, there were concealed chambers and passageways. These spaces were not just architectural quirks, they served a vital purpose. Some were used to protect rare and valuable texts from theft or destruction, while others may have housed forbidden or controversial works, shielding them from prying eyes. The idea of hiding knowledge may seem contradictory for a library, but in a world where information was power, controlling access to it was often a matter of survival. The Vatican Secret Archives, another legendary repository, takes this concept even further. While its name alone evokes mystery, the reality is even more intriguing. Behind its heavily guarded doors, there are said to be hidden rooms and tunnels, some of which have yet to be fully explored. These spaces weren't just for storage, they were designed to keep certain documents entirely out of public reach. Whether it was to protect sensitive religious texts or to conceal political secrets, these hidden spaces remind us that not all knowledge was meant to be shared. The very existence of such rooms raises questions. What might still be hidden in the shadows of these ancient libraries, waiting to be discovered? From the silent corridors of these intellectual sanctuaries, we now turn to another realm where hidden spaces played a crucial role: ancient theaters. Much like libraries, these cultural hubs were more than just places of entertainment. They were centers of social and political life, often hiding secrets of their own. But the intrigue of hidden spaces doesn't end with temples and tombs. Ancient theaters, like the Theater of Dionysus in Athens or the Colosseum in Rome, were architectural marvels that relied on secrecy just as much as spectacle. Beneath their grand stages and towering tiers of seating, a labyrinth of passageways and chambers lay concealed from the audience's view. These hidden spaces weren't just practical, they were essential to the magic of performance in the ancient world. Take the Theater of Dionysus, for example. Built into the slopes of the Acropolis, this iconic venue was the birthplace of Greek drama. Beneath its stage, a network of tunnels and rooms allowed actors to move unseen, emerging suddenly to captivate the audience. These passages weren't just for entrances and exits, they were also used to create dramatic effects. Imagine the awe of an ancient audience as gods or mythical creatures seemed to appear from nowhere thanks to cleverly hidden trapdoors and lifts. The theater wasn't just a place for storytelling, it was a place where stories came to life, and these secret spaces played a vital role in that illusion. The Colosseum, on the other hand, took hidden engineering to a whole new level. Beneath its massive arena, an underground maze known as the Hypogeum housed gladiators, animals, and stagehands. This hidden world allowed for elaborate spectacles, like the sudden release of wild beasts into the arena or the lifting of entire set pieces to the surface. It was a feat of engineering designed to keep the audience enthralled while maintaining the seamless flow of the event. But it wasn't just about entertainment. These hidden spaces also served a practical purpose, helping to manage the movement of performers, animals, and even the audience, ensuring that the chaos of preparation remained unseen. These theaters remind us that the ancient world was as much about what was hidden as what was visible. The concealed passageways weren't just functional, they were part of the artistry, designed to enhance the experience for everyone involved. And while theaters were places of performance, they also shared something in common with another bustling hub of ancient life, the marketplace. Just as theaters used hidden spaces to control crowds and create wonder, ancient markets often relied on concealed areas for storage, security, and even secret trade. But that's a story for another time. Beneath the bustling aisles and vibrant stalls of ancient markets, a hidden world of secrets and practicality thrived. Places like the Grand Bazaar in Istanbul or the Roman Forum weren't just centers of commerce, they were labyrinths of ingenuity, with concealed rooms and passageways serving purposes beyond what met the eye. These hidden spaces were vital to the daily operations of trade, offering secure storage for valuable goods, safe havens during unrest, and even private meeting spots where merchants could negotiate deals away from prying eyes. Take the Grand Bazaar, for example. Its sprawling network of shops and corridors hid underground cellars where merchants stored spices, silks, and other precious commodities. These spaces weren't just practical, they were also a safeguard against theft, ensuring that the most valuable items remained out of reach. Similarly, in the Roman Forum, hidden chambers beneath the marketplaces were used to protect goods and important documents, while also serving as discreet meeting points for political or financial discussions. But these hidden spaces weren't just about commerce, they also played a role in maintaining order and security. In times of conflict or unrest, these passageways provided quick escape routes for merchants and patrons alike, allowing them to navigate the chaos without being seen. And let's not forget the trade secrets. Many of these hidden rooms were where artisans and merchants kept their most guarded techniques and tools, ensuring that their craft remained exclusive and their businesses thrived. As intriguing as these market secrets are, hidden spaces weren't limited to public areas. In fact, ancient homes also embraced the concept of concealment for various reasons, from privacy to protection. But that's a story for another time. For now, picture the hum of ancient markets, alive with activity above ground, while beneath the surface, a quieter, more secretive world flourished, one that shaped the very fabric of trade and society. But hidden passageways and secret rooms weren't just confined to grand temples or sprawling monuments. They were also a common feature in ancient homes, weaving secrecy and practicality into everyday life. Take the homes of Pompeii, for example. These ancient Roman villas, frozen in time by the eruption of Mount Vesuvius, reveal a fascinating world of concealed spaces. Behind unassuming walls, you'd find hidden staircases, secret chambers, and even private corridors that connected different parts of the house. These weren't just architectural quirks, they served very real purposes. Privacy was a luxury in ancient Rome, and these hidden spaces allowed homeowners to retreat from the bustling world outside or even from their own guests. Imagine a wealthy Roman family hosting a lavish dinner party, with servants discreetly slipping in and out of concealed passages to deliver food and wine without disrupting the atmosphere. But these spaces weren't just about convenience, they were also about protection. In a time when security was far from guaranteed, hidden rooms provided a safe haven during invasions or raids. Some homes even had secret escape routes, allowing residents to flee unnoticed if danger struck. And then there's the practical side, storage. Ancient Romans were masters of organization, and hidden compartments were perfect for stashing valuables, from jewelry to important documents, away from prying eyes. It's almost like an ancient version of a modern-day safe, but with a touch of architectural ingenuity. Now, while these hidden spaces in homes are fascinating, they're just the beginning. The ancient world's love for secrecy extended far beyond land. It reached into the depths of the sea. Ancient ships, too, were designed with their own share of concealed spaces, serving purposes that ranged from smuggling to survival. But we'll dive into that story next. Hidden within the hulls of ancient ships, secret compartments and concealed rooms tell tales of cunning, survival, and intrigue. Whether aboard the sleek vessels of traders or the rugged ships of pirates, these hidden spaces served purposes as varied as the people who used them. For pirates, these concealed areas were often the difference between capture and escape, allowing them to stash stolen treasures or hide from pursuing authorities. In one famous example, the notorious pirate Captain Kidd was said to have used false bottom chests and hidden panels to transport gold and jewels without detection. Meanwhile, traders relied on these secret compartments to protect valuable cargo like spices, silks, or precious metals from thieves and rival merchants. Some ships even had entire rooms disguised behind false walls, designed to safeguard their most precious goods during long voyages. But these hidden spaces weren't just about smuggling or protection, they also played a role in survival. During times of conflict, ships might conceal weapons or supplies in secret compartments to ensure they had the upper hand in battle or the means to endure a prolonged journey. The ingenuity behind these designs is a testament to the resourcefulness of ancient sailors, who often had to rely on clever engineering to outwit their enemies or navigate treacherous waters. As fascinating as these hidden ship compartments are, they're just one example of how ancient civilizations used secrecy to their advantage. From the dark, damp hulls of ships, let's turn our attention to another realm of hidden spaces, those carved into the very fabric of ancient sculptures. These artistic marvels, often celebrated for their beauty, also hold secrets within their stone and marble forms waiting to be uncovered. Now, let's shift our focus to the hidden spaces tucked away within ancient sculptures, a fascinating blend of artistry and mystery. Take, for example, the iconic statues of Easter Island known as moai. These towering figures carved from volcanic rock are more than just monumental art. Some researchers believe that certain moai contain concealed compartments, possibly used to store sacred objects or even human remains. the idea that these massive statues might have served as both spiritual symbols and practical repositories adds a layer of intrigue to their already enigmatic presence. Then there's the Great Sphinx of Giza, a monument shrouded in legend and speculation. Beneath its imposing form, theories abound about hidden chambers and passageways. While some suggest these spaces were designed for ceremonial purposes, others propose they might have served as storage for treasures or even ancient records. The Sphinx, with its lion's body and human head, has long been a symbol of power and mystery, and the possibility of hidden rooms only deepens its allure. These hidden spaces weren't just functional, they carried profound symbolic meaning. In many ancient cultures, sculptures and statues were seen as vessels for spiritual energy or connections to the divine. Concealing compartments within them may have been a way to protect sacred items or to create a sense of mystery and reverence. It's as if the artists and builders wanted to remind us that not everything is meant to be seen, some secrets are meant to endure. And speaking of secrets, let's not forget that this concept of hidden spaces wasn't limited to grand sculptures. Even in the intricate world of ancient jewelry, tiny compartments and concealed mechanisms were often used to store precious items or symbolic tokens. From amulets to rings, these miniature treasures carried their own stories, waiting to be discovered. The craftsmanship behind these pieces reveals a world where beauty and mystery were interwoven, much like the hidden spaces in the statues we've just explored. Ancient jewelry wasn't just about adornment, it often held secrets. Take, for instance, the intricately designed amulets of ancient Egypt or the ornate rings of Roman nobility. These pieces weren't merely decorative, they were functional, concealing tiny compartments that served surprising purposes. Egyptian amulets, often worn for protection or spiritual significance, sometimes housed minute relics or inscriptions believed to carry divine power. Meanwhile, Roman rings were notorious for their hidden spaces, which could store everything from poison to secret messages. Imagine a Roman senator slipping a lethal dose into a rival's drink, all while wearing a ring that looked like nothing more than a symbol of status. Or picture a spy passing a coded message through a piece of jewelry, its contents known only to the wearer. These hidden compartments reveal a fascinating blend of artistry and practicality, showing how ancient cultures used even the smallest objects to serve grand and sometimes dangerous purposes. But the idea of hidden spaces didn't stop at jewelry. Ancient art, too, was riddled with concealed meanings and secret chambers. Sculptures, paintings, and even architectural elements often held deeper layers of symbolism or functionality. For example, some statues were hollow, designed to hide sacred objects or scrolls, while frescoes in temples might conceal hidden messages or prayers. These artistic secrets remind us that ancient creators were not just craftsmen. They were storytellers, embedding their work with layers of meaning that could only be uncovered by those who knew where to look. This tradition of concealment speaks to a universal human desire to protect what's precious, whether it's a physical object, a sacred relic, or a piece of knowledge meant only for the initiated. Hidden spaces in ancient art are more than just clever tricks or artistic flourishes. They often carry profound symbolic meanings or serve practical purposes that reveal the minds of their creators. Take, for example, Renaissance paintings, where artists like Leonardo da Vinci and Botticelli embedded hidden symbols and even entire concealed rooms within their works. In Leonardo's The Last Supper, for instance, subtle architectural elements in the background hint at hidden passageways, symbolizing spiritual journeys or the mysteries of faith. These details weren't just decorative, they were intentional, inviting viewers to look beyond the surface and uncover deeper truths. Byzantine mosaics, too, are a treasure trove of hidden spaces and messages. In the Hagia Sophia, intricate patterns and designs conceal symbolic references to religious teachings and political power. Some mosaics even feature hidden compartments believed to store sacred relics or documents. These concealed elements weren't merely artistic choices, they were tools for communication, blending the spiritual and the practical in ways that resonated with the people of their time. But the fascination with hidden spaces doesn't stop with paintings and mosaics. Ancient manuscripts, often overlooked in discussions of secret rooms and passages, hold their own mysteries. From carefully concealed compartments within book bindings to hidden texts written in invisible ink, these works of literature and art were designed to protect knowledge, preserve secrets, and sometimes even challenge authority. The next time you see an ancient manuscript, consider this: what might be hiding within its pages, waiting to be discovered? Hidden within the delicate pages of ancient manuscripts lies a world of secrets, codes, and concealed knowledge that has fascinated scholars for centuries. Take, for example, the Dead Sea Scrolls, an extraordinary collection of texts discovered in the mid-20th century. Beyond their surface-level content, these scrolls are believed to contain hidden messages, written in ways that only the initiated could decipher. Some researchers suggest that certain passages were intentionally encrypted to protect sacred knowledge or to communicate covertly among communities under threat. This practice wasn't unique to the Dead Sea Scrolls. Medieval illuminated manuscripts adorned with intricate illustrations and gold leaf often harbored their own secrets. Scribes would sometimes embed hidden symbols or codes within the artwork, creating layers of meaning that only the most observant reader could uncover. These hidden spaces in manuscripts weren't just about secrecy, they were also about preservation. In an era when knowledge was power and power was often contested, hiding information within texts ensured its survival. But manuscripts weren't the only ancient artifacts designed to conceal. Ancient maps, too, hold their own mysteries. Just as scribes encoded messages in their texts, cartographers embedded hidden details in their maps, sometimes to protect trade routes or to obscure the locations of treasure. This seamless connection between manuscripts and maps reveals a broader theme: the human desire to safeguard knowledge, often by hiding it in plain sight. As we move into the next chapter of our exploration, we'll uncover how these hidden spaces in ancient maps continue to puzzle and inspire us today. Have you ever looked at an ancient map and wondered what secrets it might hold? Maps like the Piri Reis map or the Hereford Mappa Mundi are not just historical artifacts, they're treasure troves of hidden messages, symbolic meanings, and even references to secret spaces. These maps were more than just tools for navigation. They were works of art, philosophy, and sometimes coded puzzles. Take the Piri Reis map, for example. Created in the early 1500s, it's famous for its incredibly accurate depiction of coastlines, some of which hadn't even been officially discovered at the time. But what's even more fascinating are the cryptic notes and illustrations scattered across its surface. Some scholars believe these markings point to hidden locations, possibly even secret chambers or lost treasures. Similarly, the Hereford Mappa Mundi, a medieval map from the 1300s, is filled with symbolic imagery and allegorical references. It wasn't just meant to guide travelers, it was a visual representation of the world's spiritual and physical dimensions, with hidden meanings woven into every corner. These maps often served dual purposes. They were practical guides for explorers and coded messages for those who knew how to read between the lines. And just when you think you've uncovered all their secrets, another layer of mystery reveals itself. But maps aren't the only ancient artifacts with hidden depths. Coins, too, hold their own enigmatic stories, often concealing messages and symbols in plain sight. What could these tiny pieces of metal tell us about the secret spaces of the ancient world? Now, let's take a closer look at something small yet incredibly powerful: ancient coins. These tiny artifacts, often overlooked, hold secrets that go far beyond their monetary value. Roman denarii, Greek drachmas, and other ancient currencies weren't just tools for trade. They were also cleverly designed to carry hidden messages, symbols, and even references to secret spaces. Imagine holding a coin that not only bought goods but also served as a miniature billboard for propaganda, a talisman for protection, or a coded way to communicate. Take Roman denarii, for example. Emperors often used these coins to spread their influence and control public perception. The images and inscriptions stamped onto them weren't random. They were carefully chosen to convey power, divine favor, or military victories. A single coin could tell a story of triumph, reminding people of the emperor's greatness every time it changed hands. But beyond the obvious, some coins may have hidden layers of meaning, like subtle references to temples, hidden chambers, or even secret societies. Greek drachmas, on the other hand, often carried symbols tied to mythology or local deities. These weren't just decorative, they were believed to offer protection or blessings. Some coins even featured intricate designs that could only be fully appreciated under certain lighting or angles, almost like a hidden code waiting to be deciphered. It's fascinating to think that something as everyday as a coin could serve as a bridge between the physical and spiritual worlds, carrying messages meant for both the living and the divine. What's even more intriguing is how these coins might have been used in secretive ways. In times of political unrest or invasion, coins could act as discreet communication tools. A specific symbol or mark might signal allegiance, warn of danger, or point to a hidden location. In this way, ancient coins weren't just currency, they were also instruments of survival and strategy. As we wrap up this exploration of hidden spaces in ancient coins, it's clear that these small objects were far more than meets the eye. They were vessels of power, protection, and communication, carrying secrets that have endured for centuries. With this in mind, we're ready to bring our journey through hidden passageways and secret rooms to a close, reflecting on the incredible ways ancient civilizations used these spaces to shape their worlds and ours. Hidden passageways and secret rooms in ancient monuments are more than just architectural marvels. They are windows into the minds of the people who built them. These concealed spaces reveal a world of ingenuity, where creativity and practicality intertwine to solve problems, protect treasures, or even conceal secrets from prying eyes. From the labyrinthine tunnels beneath Egypt's pyramids to the hidden chambers of medieval castles, these structures remind us that ancient civilizations were far more sophisticated than we often give them credit for. They didn't just build for the present, they designed for the future, leaving behind puzzles that continue to captivate us centuries later. What makes these hidden spaces so compelling is the sense of mystery they evoke. Every secret passage or concealed room tells a story, whether it's a tale of survival, power, or even betrayal. They invite us to imagine the lives of those who walked these halls, to wonder what was so valuable or dangerous that it needed to be hidden away. And as we uncover these secrets, we're reminded that history isn't just about dates and events, it's about people, their dreams, and their fears. If this journey through the hidden corners of the past has sparked your curiosity, why not dive deeper? Many of these ancient sites are open to visitors, offering a chance to walk in the footsteps of history and experience the thrill of discovery firsthand. Or if travel isn't an option, there's a wealth of books, documentaries, and online resources that can transport you to these incredible places from the comfort of your home. As the writer Gaston Bachelard once said, "The house protects the dreamer, the house allows one to dream in peace." Hidden spaces, whether in ancient monuments or modern homes, have always held a special allure, a promise of something waiting to be discovered, a story waiting to be told. If you enjoyed this exploration of history's secrets, don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more deep dives into the mysteries of the past, and let us know in the comments what's the most fascinating hidden space you've ever encountered. Your stories might just inspire the next adventure.